Hello. Good evening. Happiness is something that multiplies when you share it. Welcome to BMC English News Live. Myself, Marina Francis, joining you with today's news updates. Today's news in detail. Supreme Council for Women, 2 decades of successful empowerment of worthy partners in nation building. The Supreme Council for Women, SCW, celebrates on August 22nd 2 decades of achievements and accomplishments for and by Bahraini women based on assuming their national responsibilities and duties with efficiency and competence. The outcome confirms the insightful and broad vision of His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa, the leader of the nation's comprehensive development and the lead supporter of women's progress in Bahrain. The First Lady of Bahrain, Her Royal Highness Princess Sabika bint Ibrahim Al Khalifa, wife of His Majesty the King, has had a great role in leading women's progress and consolidating the pillars of the Supreme Council for Women with its extended orientations to include all aspects of Bahraini women's life through its multiple specializations and numerous tasks. The Council has become the national reference to all official entities with regard to women's matters and issues and the body responsible for setting the general policy to follow up on the progress of Bahraini women. 2 decades of accomplishments and successes testify to the outstanding role of the Council. His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa today received a cable of congratulations from Her Royal Highness Princess Sabika bint Ibrahim Al Khalifa, wife of His Majesty the King and President of the Supreme Council for Women SCW, marking the 20th anniversary of the SCW. Her Royal Highness Princess Sabika extended sincere congratulations to His Majesty the King on the occasion, noting that the establishment of the SCW in conjunction with the launch of His Majesty the King's pioneering reform project contributed to enhancing the Bahraini Women's Progress March. Her Royal Highness Princess Sabika extended to His Majesty the King on behalf of the SCW's founders and affiliates deepest thanks, appreciation and gratitude for the unlimited royal support for the SCW. Her Royal Highness Princess Sabika pledged to exert more efforts in order to build on the previous achievements and bring about new gains under His Majesty the King's leadership. A special ceremony was hosted by His Majesty King Hamad's representative for humanitarian work and youth affairs, Sheikh Nasser bint Hamad Al Khalifa, as he joined his staff to mark the Onam festival. Sheikh Nasser posted photographs on Instagram enjoying Onasadya, the traditional feast of Kerala's harvest festival. In his Instagram post, His Highness Sheikh Nasser, His Majesty the Bahrain King's representative for humanitarian work and youth affairs, wishes everyone a happy Onam and says how lucky he is to have such a great staff for support. Bahrain Media City organizes 21 days long Onam celebration named Shravana Maholsavam 2021. The Harvest Festival of Kerala, Onam, will be celebrated by Bahrain Media City in a unique manner virtually, and the celebrations would last for 21 days, which would include programs in collaboration with various socio-cultural associations in the Kingdom of Bahrain. The programs will be telecasted through BMC Global Live Facebook and YouTube channel. Francis Kaidarath, the chairman and managing director, said the celebrations named Shravana Maholsavam 2021 would commence with the flag hoisting on September 1st. Bahrain Media City, established amidst the COVID pandemic, has today become a platform for numerous artists in the island. The celebrations would conclude on 25th September with Bahrain Media City's first anniversary celebrations cum Social Service Excellence Award ceremony. The Indian Community Relief Fund ICRF Thirst Quenchers 2021 team continued to distribute bottled water and fruits to the workers. Today's distribution was held at the work site in Salman City for more than 160 workers. This is the 7th week and the program is supported by Bohra community in Bahrain. The basic purpose of such activity is to teach workers the importance of drinking water and encourage them on how to be healthy during the summer. Additionally, ICRF volunteers have distributed reusable face masks and antibacterial soaps, along with flyers that explain the measures that can be followed to stay safe during COVID-19, as well as flyers on mental well-being. ICRF Thirst Quenchers intends to continue this for few more weeks in various work sites, as they are one of the most affected toiling under the summer heat. The event was organized following COVID-19 protocol and attended by ICRF Thirst Quenchers convener Sudhir Tirunalathu, ICRF volunteers Murali Krishnan, Nisha Rangarajan and Raman Preet, along with site representatives Stephen Womald, Project Director, Syed Ziauddin, Project Manager and Rajesh Naubatullah, HSC Manager. Bahrain's Gulf Air to be the first commercial airline to arrive in the United States as part of Afghan evacuation efforts. As part of the Kingdom of Bahrain's commitment to international humanitarian efforts, Gulf Air, the country's national carrier, has flown a first-of-its-kind flight from Isa Air Base to Dulles International Airport as part of efforts to evacuate individuals from Afghanistan to the United States. Gulf Air's participation makes it the first commercial company in the world to arrive in the US as part of the evacuation efforts of individuals from Afghanistan. It represents an affirmation of the Kingdom of Bahrain's efforts to protect lives. This initiative comes as part of the Kingdom's well-established endeavors to support humanitarian efforts. The Kingdom of Bahrain has achieved second place in the general standing of the national teams participating in the Europe Open MMA Championship after winning 9 medals, including 9 golds and 3 silvers in the event, which was organized by the International Mixed Martial Arts Federation IMMAF in the period between 16th to 20th August 2021 in Russia. On this occasion, His Highness Sheikh Khalid bin Hamad Al Khalifa, First Deputy President of the Supreme Council for Youth and Sports, President of the General Sports Authority and President of the Bahrain Olympic Committee, escalated his sincere congratulations to His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa, King of the Kingdom of Bahrain, His Royal Highness Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa, Crown Prince and Prime Minister, and His Highness Sheikh Nasser bin Hamad Al Khalifa, representative of His Majesty the King for Humanitarian Works and Youth Affairs. His Highness said, "We are proud of our champions in the Open Europe MMA Championship, as this result reflects the capabilities and potential of our champions. They mirrored the real Bahraini desire and spirit to achieve this honorable result and raise our flag high in this major championship." Bahrain yesterday recorded 102 new COVID-19 cases alongside 165 recoveries and 1 fatality, the Health Ministry said yesterday. Today's death brings the total fatalities in Bahrain to 1,386. Of the new cases, 34 were expatriate workers, 42 contacts of local cases and 26 travel-related. Now we shall be back after a very short break.
All your favorite products under one roof in Bahrain at 27-year-old Megamart and Macromart. Bakery, fresh meat and fish, fruits and vegetables, sweets and snacks, ready-to-eat foods, dairy products, grocery or consumer goods. To have a wonderful shopping experience, please visit your nearest Megamart Macromart branch. Megamart and Macromart, full of goodness.
Welcome back. UAE to approve tourist visas for Indian passport holders as COVID cases fall. In the wake of a fall in coronavirus cases, the United Arab Emirates has decided to allow Indian passport holders who have not been to the country in the last 14 days to obtain tourist visas. UAE allowed Indian passport holders to enter the country on a tourist visa provided they haven't visited or been in India in the last 14 days. Besides India, the facility has been extended to Nepal, Nigeria, Pakistan, Sri Lanka and Uganda, according to a media report on Sunday. At present, only citizens of the UAE and transit passengers are allowed to fly to the UAE, a measure the administration took earlier this year to contain the spread of the COVID-19 pandemic. The country is now slowly opening up its arrivals as the situation improves. However, all flyers would have to undergo a PCR test on the day of arrival and on the 9th day after arrival in the UAE. Oman ends COVID night movement ban. The movement ban on individuals, vehicles and commercial activities in Oman came to an end last evening. The decision to revoke the night curfew came as the country witnessed a dip in the number of COVID-19 cases. Meanwhile, the Supreme Committee stressed the need to adhere to all precautionary measures and announced that vaccinations would be made mandatory from September 1st onwards for those individuals who wish to enter government offices, shopping malls, restaurants, private sector facilities and venues hosting cultural, sports and group activities. It also added that only vaccinated individuals would be allowed to enter the Sultanate. UAE announces new procedures for confronting COVID-19 pandemic in federal entities. All federal government employees in the United Arab Emirates are required to perform a nasal swab test, PCR test, every 48 hours, the Federal Authority for Government Human Resources FAHR has said. The new procedure to be implemented starting August 29th does not extend to the employees who have received the 2 doses of the COVID-19 vaccine, the authority said in a circular to all ministries and federal entities to address the COVID-19 pandemic at the federal government level in coordination with the Ministry of Health and Prevention. Employees who have obtained a medical report from official health authorities in the country indicating that they cannot receive the COVID-19 vaccine due to their health condition are excluded from the new procedures, provided that the employee is committed to performing a PCR test every 48 hours. Saudi approves Moderna vaccine for children aged 12 to 17 years. The Saudi Food and Drug Authority (SFDA) approved on Sunday the use of the Moderna COVID-19 vaccine for individuals aged between 12 to 17 years. The decision of the authority was based on the data provided by the pharmaceutical company, which showed its vaccine had met special regulatory requirements and included clinical studies and reports showing its effectiveness and safety. SFDA's review found that the known and potential benefits of the vaccine on individuals 12 years of age or older outweigh the risks. UAE issues updated list on enforcement of fines penalties to contain COVID-19 spread. UAE Attorney General Dr. Hamad Saif Al-Shamsi has issued an updated list of fines and penalties to contain the spread of COVID-19. The list includes fines for non-compliance with the quarantine instructions at home and quarantine facilities, for deception and evasion offences, non-compliance of institutions and companies with the precautionary measures as determined by relevant authorities, violating judicial orders or when stopped at checking points. The list also imposes fines for spreading fake news, information or coronavirus-related rumors, as well as violating temporary entry rules by vehicles used for commercial purposes. The Attorney General Office has urged citizens and residents in the country to abide by the law and follow the COVID-19 precautionary measures and decisions issued by relevant authorities to ensure and protect their health and safety. First Kuwaiti female basketball referee granted official license by FIBA. Kuwaiti basketball referee Munira Al-Hashash has been granted an official refereeing license by International Basketball Federation FIBA, making her the first Kuwaiti female referee to achieve this feat. Ms. Al-Hashash received the honor after she successfully completed set requirements and passing mandatory tests. At least 10 people killed in Tennessee flash floods, dozens missing. Catastrophic flooding in Middle Tennessee left at least 10 people dead and dozens missing on Saturday as record-shattering rainfall washed away homes and rural roads, authorities said. Coastal evacuations urged in US as Hurricane Henry heads north. People evacuated popular beach communities and made last-minute runs on batteries and gasoline as Hurricane Henry churned closer to Long Island and southern New England, when officials pleaded with the millions of people in the storm's path to brace themselves for torrential rain and storm surges. With that news, we come to the end of today's news updates. Stay tuned to BMC News Live for daily news updates in English every day at 7:30 p.m. Good night.